This specific game that's just recently been released, it is certainly worthy, in my opinion, of a definite honourable mention as regards to a platformer that's just been released on the PlayStation network or the Xbox Live network, Xbox Live in the arcade portion of that network, and it is I don't know if it's classed as a remake or whatever, but in some ways it is. In some ways it's a remake of the Megadrive classic by Sega, Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. Now, if you look at some of my previous videos on my channel, you'll see that I did some specific gameplay on this game for the Mega Drive. Historically, back in the day when I used to play the Mega Drive a lot, this is one of the first platformers I think I bought for the Mega Drive of any worthy note, in essence, and I think the original is an absolutely fantastic game. Now, I was on the internet the other day and just having a quick squint around, and I'd noticed that this game had actually been released, and I thought, wow, you know, I'm definitely having a quick look at that. Now, because it's at the sort of cheaper end of the market as regards to the type of release it is, digital only, it costs a whopping £10. Now, if it was anywhere near the quality, in my opinion, of the platform, of the original platformer, this was going to be an absolute must buy. I had a quick look at some videos as regards to what the game looked like, and I was pretty impressed, to be honest. So last night I've gone home and I paid my cash and I downloaded it, and I played perhaps about 3 hours of it last night, which is pretty weird for me to be playing 3 hours certainly on one game, or any game in fact, and I will continue playing it. I found it really enjoyable. So if you're a fan of the Mega Drive classic, you've got to go out and buy this, guys. If you've got an Xbox or got a PlayStation 3, without a shadow of a doubt, you will absolutely love it. If you've never seen or played this game before on the Mega Drive and you are into your platformers, go and buy this game. It is, I think it's one of those ones that is a bit of a must in reality, and it's very unusual that you see a remake or a rebirth or whatever you want to call it of an original, and it is as good in every way. It is a real classic platformer, and it's a great game. Because I have played it for a few hours, so I've got through several stages so far, and it is a great game in the way that especially if you like the original, is that you can switch via the menu setup of the game. You can switch back to the classic Mega Drive music score, which I thought at the time, I still think now, was absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's actually part of the game for me. The original game, obviously being on the Mega Drive, it was a 2D platformer, and this has been changed slightly to a sort of pseudo 3D type platformer, but you only use either one of the thumbsticks to move around, or the directional pad, the digital directional pad. So you don't use a secondary thumbstick to actually look around from Mickey's eyes. It's not that type of 3D game, which is fine. So effectively, you got this house, and each floor has a number of doors. You go for the doors, and that's where you start your levels. And the levels I've played so far have been exactly the same as regards to them, not exactly the same, but they're reflecting the original levels in the original Mega Drive game. So like I said, if you're used to that game, you'll see this and you'll think, oh yeah, I recognise that level, I remember all about this one. It's got some great touches to the game, it really has, and I was playing it yesterday and thinking, oh, that looks absolutely great. That there's a lot of the way they've done that, the graphical side of that, and it's a few of these games, when they've taken them from a 2D into a sort of 3D environment, they've sort of lost their way a bit. But this game, it actually adds to the game, if you see what I mean, if that makes any sense. The 3D aspect to the game, actually adds to it. It's one of those games where it's a platformer, but the problem is there's a lot of the platformers nowadays that are released. I think Rayman is an exception to that sort of general rule, is that they're quite easy. This isn't, as the original Megadrive version wasn't easy. It wasn't something that you could just, pick it up, a few continues, and you'll go straight through it. No way, you're not going to do that on this. So it does provide you with quite a challenge. Now, in my opinion, this game would have been worthy, or is worthy, I should say, is worthy of a full release, without a shadow of a doubt. And there's enough content as regards to, I do really crap at this, aren't I? And there's enough content in the game as regards to the actual game itself. I don't mean sort of additional content, I mean as regards to what the game gives you, and the difficulty level, and the variedness of the is that a word? And the variedness of the levels. It's worth a full retail release. I mean, for a tenner, it's absolutely stupid, in my opinion. And like I said, certainly you guys that have played and like the original version, you'll look at this, or you'll start playing this, I should say, and you'll think, yeah, this is absolutely great, as I did, hopefully. That's a bit of an insight into Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. And go buy it, guys. If you're into platformers, it's great. For a tenner, it's an absolute bargain.